Hi there, I'm Cher, and this is Diary of a Pen Nerd. So, I've been seeing on the internet lots of people make videos about their journals, and they call them journaling ecosystems because they're presenting all of the books they're working out of at once as a way to kind of show us how they all work together and cover all of the bases. And I've been watching so many of them, and I find them so interesting how people are using different books to fulfill their own needs. And so I thought it'd be fun to make one myself. So we've got 5 books here to go through today, and I have them sorted into the 2 that I use every day and then the 3 that I use less frequently. And so first off, we have my journal, and this one is just like a Dear Diary style journal in that it's very much just a written log of my day and what I did and thoughts and feelings and things like that. I have been working on decorating it more than I have some of my journals in the past. I've been really struggling with the paper in this, actually, in that it's hard to get my fountain pens to work right on it, so I've been using gel pen more. But this is a fun little notebook that I got on a beach road trip with my best friend. So it's pretty special, and I've been really enjoying writing in this one. And then I also have my bullet journal, which is almost full, I think. Here, this is the last pen that I used, and it's actually a fountain pen wish list. Isn't that funny? And I've only got that many pages left. And then I had a little incident and spilt ink on it, and it's red ink, so it is not as pretty. I was thinking, it would have been totally fine to spill purple or blue ink, but red, it's fine. I'm always covered in ink, so I guess, my most loved things should be too. And this one I use during school. I use it a lot for like planning my assignments and other things, but I also like to put in random things in here, like this is my summer bucket list and, random calligraphy and different things, notes and weekly plans and to-do lists, and all of that goes in here. And I think if I boiled my journaling ecosystem down to just its bare bones, I would still have these 2 books, because I would still want a place to record all of my thoughts and feelings, and I would still need a place for my to-do lists and everything else. And I think at some point even I tried to condense this down into one book, and it just didn't work very well. So if I boiled this down to just the bare bones, I would still have these 2. And these are the 2 that I use just about every day. And then we get into the ones that I don't use as frequently. And on top is this cute leather notebook that actually is refillable. So whenever I am done with all of the paper in here, I can untie this and take this paper block out and put a new paper block in and keep reusing the same leather cover, which is really nice. And this one is my daily inventory of good things. And the reason it's over here and not over here is because I don't actually use this every day. And in fact, I haven't used this at all since Easter, but I do like to write in here. It's kind of like a gratitude log, but it's just kind of a list of every good thing, you know, big or small, that happened in a day. And that can be as small as like, oh, I had a really good drink, you know, or it could be as big as, you know, I passed the test that I was really worried about, or I got to see someone I haven't seen for a long time. And so this one is really nice. I want to work in it more. I think right around after Easter is when school really ramped up for me, and although I've been on summer break for a month now, which is kind of crazy to me, I just haven't gotten back around to it, but I do like this cute little notebook, and this practice of doing the daily inventory of good things is actually a journaling practice that I came up with when I was really struggling mentally in high school, and I realized that writing my classic journal that I was doing often led to me spiraling in darker thoughts and anxieties, whereas if I was doing this, then I could really focus my energy just on finding good things. And that was really helpful to me, so that's why I like to keep this one around. And then we get into this. This actually was my bullet journal for like the month of December, and then I didn't end up filling it up. So after that, I turned it into kind of like an ink exploration, for ink exploration. And so I've got quite a bit in here, and I'll probably keep working on it. And this one might take me a while to fill up just because I only come back to it when I want to play around with ink. But it's nice to have a place to do that and to play around with, you know, my different pens. Like I did this with the Pilot Parallel, but I did a lot of this with a dip pen and things like that. Just another way to play around with ink. So that's this notebook. And then last but not least is kind of like my, I don't know, would you call this a faith journal? If there's ever like a talk or a sermon that I'm, you know, taking notes on, I'll put the notes in here. But for the most part, I am a Sunday school teacher for all of the kids in a specific age group. And so I use this notebook to plan out my lessons. And that's primarily what I use this one for. And this one I think is from Target. Yeah. And it's really cute. It's got mushrooms on it, and it's hardcover. And then I can usually stick a pen on the loops there, and I'm good to go. So that's my journaling ecosystem. And I think that, you know, it's pretty small. I do tend to like to keep things small. If there was anything I was going to add to this, it'd probably be, well, I guess, I could also, if I really wanted to, show you my nature journal. And I do some reflection in here. But like, this is cute. I think these are flowers that I picked, and just do different things in here. I took a class on nature journaling, so a lot of these were prompts that I had to do for assignments in class, and different things. So I could definitely make a video talking about a lot of the different prompts and things that we did for creative reflection, using nature, if that's something anyone would be interested in. And maybe if it's something no one would be interested in, and I would still make a video on it. But I also have my nature journal, so I guess you can count that. But I do tend to keep it pretty small. I think if I had too many, I would get overwhelmed and I would constantly feel behind, especially if I had a lot that I was supposed to be tracking daily. But yeah, I also think about adding a language journal, and using that to write daily entries in Mandarin Chinese, which is the language I've been trying to learn. And that is a good way to review vocabulary and grammar and things like that. And also be able to look back at some future date when I've become incredibly fluent in Mandarin. No, I'm kidding. Although that would be the goal, to be able to look back and see how far I've come. But that is my journaling ecosystem. Very short and sweet, and but that is all that I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in to another transmission. If you enjoyed this, you want to stick around, you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I will have the next chapter of my story out soon. Bye for now. Love, share.